It's the Bigs.
You're rocking with the Bigs. You already know.
Chicago sports.
Baez out of the deep left center. Go!
Scooped up down the sideline. Eddie Jackson. Jackson, it's a foot race, and he's going to win it. Touchdown Bears.
And culture.
I told him I was going to get 35 or more, and we was going to win. And we did that. For the culture.
Only right here. WVON 1690 AM.
It's 11:07, and you are officially rocking with the Bigs live from the Xfinity Studios on WVON, the Talk of Chicago. I'm your man, Terrence Tomlin.
And this is your boy, Gino.
And we are the UGKs of Chicago sports.
The Underground Kings, man. It's us, the Bigs. But before we continue, man, I got to give a shout-out to everybody that's been rocking with the Bigs from day one, man, in whatever capacity it is. We are nothing without the people. So shout out to y'all, man, and shout out to my player partner to my left, T-Tom, man. He said it was a dream of his to get on these airwaves. And like I stated a long time ago, it's just the beginning, man.
It's definitely a dream of ours, and like my man Gino said, thank you to everybody that's been tuned in since day one. Man, over the last 3 years, Gino, man, we've been everywhere, from the clubhouses of the Chicago Cubs, the White Sox, the Bears, man, handing people this Bulls coverage, man. But above all that, I've loved this journey that we've been on together, man, and I'm happy to be here starting a new one with you tonight.
No doubt, man. 2016 was an epic year. We got to cover that World Series. We took it to L.A., ended it in Cleveland. And, man, it's just the beginning, man, T. So we might as well go and get it started, man. We talked to Coach Rob Smith the other day over there at Simeon. If you guys know anything about the Simeon Wolverines, home of Ben Wilson, Derrick Rose, Jabari Parker, Coach Rob Smith said this may be his most dominant Simeon team of all time, man. T, what you think?
That's saying a lot, man, when you think about Rob Smith and the history that Simeon has, all the notable names that come with everything Simeon brings to the table. You're talking about guys like Derrick Rose. You're talking about guys like Jabari Parker and those teams that all, they all won state championships. So you look at this team and he's saying it's the most talented and most dominant that he's had. It's saying a lot, man. I'm looking at guys like Taylor Horton-Tucker, like Xavier Pinson, like Keywan Clements. You're really talking about a high school team that's more like the Golden State Warriors. You know what I mean? So many weapons, so much firepower on the offensive side of the ball.
No doubt, man. We've done a lot of coverage with Simeon this season. We followed them around the city. If you follow Simeon, you know they play a great national schedule as well. And we talked to Taylor the other night, and he basically said they've gotten all of their losing out of the way already, and they are basically destined to win another state championship. So, like you said, with guys like Taylor Horton-Tucker, for those of you who don't know, is the Bigs top 5. He's actually our number one hooper this year. So he's done a great job so far. I think he feels snubbed from the McDonald's All-American game last week with the selections, but that's why you play the game, man. So he's been leading Simeon all year with guys like Xavier Pinson, who's picked up major offers over the last couple weeks. Missouri, Pat Ewing over there at Georgetown, one of them, I think St. Louis Billikens, all type of D1 offers. Then you got guys like Messiah Jones, a Drake commit who's brings his hard work to the paint every day. You got guys like Kenny Pittman shooting lights out. Then you got guys like Zion Young. Just so much talent over there at Simeon. So they're gonna be a tough out, but we got some talent going around the city this year, man.
They're definitely going to be a tough out, man. And anybody that has paid attention to the high school basketball scene knows that it's been Taylor's world, and everybody else is just living in it, man. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to see our guy Ayo Dosumo from Morgan Park do his thing thanks to injuries, man. But I've completely enjoyed watching Taylor flourish into a big-time player. First of all, he definitely got snubbed from the McDonald's All-Star team, so we're definitely going to have to talk about that a little bit more.
True. Our
guy Taylor should have had one of those spots. Man, but since then, he's been taking it out on everybody he's played, man. He jumped clean over a mug the next game. He's caught a couple of bodies since then, man, and Simeon has continued to win. But like you said, Gino, man, the talent at the high school level right now is really strong. You look at teams Like, we went to go see Orr last night versus St. Louis Vashon.
Mm-hmm.
And Orr put on the show, man. The last time we saw Vashon was at the beginning of the season at the Chicago Willie Classic, and they took care of Whitney Young.
They did, man. That was we were looking forward to seeing an athletic Vashon team yesterday over at Orr. Orr had a great event yesterday. It was called the Orr Breast Cancer Awareness Shootout, something like that.
Definitely.
Shout out to Coach Lou Adams and those guys over at Orr for putting on a great showcase yesterday. But, yeah, Orr is another tough out, man. Those guys playing at a high level. You got Chase Adams over there. You got Raekwon Drake. You got Ty Mosley. You got Danny Smith. You got the sharpshooting Brian Hernandez over there. So Orr is another tough out. We've seen them play a few times this year. We saw them lose to Curie at the beginning of the season. They didn't have their whole team, but they've come back fully loaded, and they've been lights out ever since. So the ultimate matchup for me for this city championship would be an Orr Simeon matchup, man. I think those are the two most talented teams in the city, and yeah, that'll be the ultimate city matchup for me.
I tell you right now, if we don't get a Simeon versus Orr matchup, we're going to have to march down to the CPS headquarters and have a talk with them, because there's no way that those two teams shouldn't play when you talk about the level of competition that's in the city and the level of basketball that those two teams are playing at right now.
Hey, Tony McCoy, make that happen, man. We need to see Orr and Simeon in the finals, man. Maybe semifinals, whatever, quarterfinals, whatever it is, we need to see that Orr and Simeon matchup. But we got Morgan Park, we got Curie, we got an always tough Bogan team.
Always tough.
We got Corliss, we got my boy George Condit. If you guys haven't been paying attention, the bigs, we have our top 5 Chicago Hoopers. We only cover the Chicago area. We can't really get outside the Chicagoland area. We're covering the Chicago area. So we have our top 5. And number 1, we got Taylor Horton Tucker from Simeon. Number 2 was Ayo Desumu from Morgan Park, who's been down for a few weeks with an ankle injury. So hopefully he'll come back fully healthy for this run. We got a tie at number 3 with our boy Vano over there, Javon Freeman, the nephew of Hall of Fame Chicago legend Marcus Liberty. Javon Freeman over there, Whitney Young, who's a Valpo commit. George Condit is also tied for number 3 over there. We got, where is he going? Iowa State with Taylor Horton Tucker.
Zion Griffin.
Zion Griffin, another guy from upstate Illinois. And coming in at number 5 is, who did we have? Oh, we had sharpshooting Adam Miller from Morgan Park.
Definitely.
Io has been down for a minute, so Adam Miller has definitely taken on the reins, put the team on his back, and he's raised a couple spots in the ESPN top 25 class of 2020. So lots of great talent so far, and it's only gonna turn up in the city playoffs, man.
Gino, man, that's what I love about the Morgan Park Mustangs, man. It seems like every year they have young players ready to step up. We know in the last year in the state championship, Io went down too, but the guys picked up, the slack and definitely brought home the championship for them. So it's been no different this year, just a different name, Adam Miller, who's definitely going to be climbing the rankings over the summer. We definitely love his game. He definitely has flashes of being one of the top players in the state when he becomes a senior. So I'm definitely hoping that a guy like Adam Miller a couple of years from now can break that McDonald's All-Star streak, man. Jalen Brunson was the last All-Star we seen.
Right.
So we're definitely hoping that in the next coming years that one of these hoopers from the crib gets to go ahead and, be a McDonald's All-American.
Yeah, it's definitely that time, man. And also I want to know what's going on around the city and around the Illinois area. Why aren't these schools recruiting these guys, man?
Man, a lot of it is stigma. A lot of the students and the coaches will tell you that themselves. A lot of the college programs try to stay away from here, man. Unfortunately.
Wow.
Especially a lot of the local programs, man, because the kids tell them, hey, I'm trying to get out of here.
That's true.
I'm trying to get out of this area.
But for the kids that don't have anywhere else to go and they're not getting any, like I see a lot of these kids who could be forces at the lower level, mid-major Division I level, and are they academically ineligible? Or is there something, I don't know, man, is it the politics or what?
It's probably all of the above, man. We always see guys like Dave Lato in the gyms trying to make himself known, trying to expand what they're doing over at DePaul with their new stadium and everything like that. So that's something that we're always going to be looking for, man. is these local organizations looking to recruit harder in the city.
No doubt, man. Hopefully they can bring that IHSA state championship down to the Wintrust Arena, man. Make it easy for the Chicago folks,
It's
man.
only right. Bring it back home to the South Side.
Straight up. But that's it, man. We, like I said, catch us, Whitney Young and Orr.
Whitney Young and Orr next Thursday. A rematch from the Proviso West Holiday Tournament where Orr took home a W against a powerhouse, one of their biggest wins over the last couple of years for the Orr Spartans, man. So definitely looking forward to that rematch next week.
It's the Bigs, and you're rocking with us, WVON, the Talk of Chicago.
Welcome back to the show. We are the Underground Kings of Chicago, the Bigs. Coming to you live from the Xfinity Studios. We're on WVON, the Talk of Chicago. Gino, man, I spent all of my weekend at Sox Fest, man, trying to soak in the vibes.
How did you do it, man?
I did it very cautiously. I crawled to the end of this weekend, basically, over there at the Hilton downtown. But no, man, the Hilton, Sox Fest had a lot of love in it, man. It's completely different from what's going on at the North Side. But, man, I have to say I love what's going on with the South Side and these youngsters that they, stay bigging up and keeping the fans ready for. As you know, man, Sox Fest is all about the fans. So they had all the interactive experiences. You could play baseball with Frank Thomas or Jose Contreras.
Okay.
They had Don Cooper down there giving some of the youngsters some pitching tips.
Cool.
So, it was all about the fan experience. But, man, as far as the Sox go, man, I heard all of the shorties talking about, hey, Jake Berger, hey, Ronaldo Lopez, guys that are not even on the Major League roster yet.
I was going to say, man, how long are you guys going to sit? Well, you saw what happened on the north side of things, man. We had a 5-year plan. Theo, Jed, Jason, they came in. We had a 5-year plan, got it done in 4. The blueprint is set. So how long are the guys on the south side going to sit around and wait on guys who haven't even stepped foot in the major leagues to come around? And, they're trying to change this new style of baseball where,
Definitely.
we can fit the pieces in a little bit quicker and just make this run a little quicker. So what's the vibe and what's the feeling over there on the south side?
Man, first of all, you definitely got to tip your cap to Rick Hahn, man, who has showed and proved that he's not afraid to bust moves when the time is right. Spent all the last season retooling his roster and bringing in young players for the future. And he set himself up nicely to do the same thing this upcoming season, man. He's brought in a bunch of relief pitching arms that down the line, and as we get closer to the postseason, those are the type of pieces that are attractive to move to get you more young players. So right now, man, like you brought up, Gino, the Cubs laid down the blueprint, and Rick Hahn and the White Sox are definitely following that blueprint, trying to make sure that these young guys are ready to bring home a ring in a couple years.
Yeah, man, I see. They cashed Abreu out under the arbitration act.
Like they should have.
I agree. Abreu has definitely held the fort down through the tough times the last few years, so they owed him a little bit. Avisel was an all-star last year. Yohan Moncada came on pretty strong, ended the year very well. And our guy Tim Anderson, he had a couple personal issues going on through the year, but he rebounded pretty well. And
Definitely.
I'm not a big Sox fan myself, man. But
let it be known. Just
hey,
go ahead
man,
and let it be known, Gino.
Hey, man, you know who I'm riding with. But I will give props when they're due. And I love the young corp that these guys are working with over there. And they're in good hands with Rick Hahn, man. So
I definitely think they're in good hands with Rick Hahn and Rick Renteria over there.
Rick Renteria. That's who I meant, Rick Renteria. He was he coached the Cubs for just a year?
He was the bridge to Joe Madden.
Right. He got us over the hump. He was part. We should give Rick Renteria a ring, too.
You know what? That's what I'm hoping doesn't happen on the South Side, man. I'm hoping Ricky can get to experience the flourish with these young guys, because I think that's played a huge part in how they were able to produce towards the end of the season, man. The connection that he has with those young international players like a Yohan Moncada, like a Jose Abreu and Avisel Garcia, he's brought a different level of comfort for the young cats to the game that I really hope he gets to stick around and see what's going to happen with these guys, man. Like you touched on, man, our guy Tim Anderson, he said it is going to be a revenge 2018 because I'm sure he left a lot of unfinished business on the table. because a lot of the issues that happened off the diamond for him, man. Unfortunately, he lost one of his best friends. But man, he off the field, Timber's a great guy, man. He definitely comes off as a family guy that has kept his wife around him a lot, man. Like at Sox Fest, you always see him and his wife together. I saw he was doing some media rounds with him and his wife promoting their Stop the Violence campaign that they've been pushing since the middle of last season. So you definitely get a good vibe from these young guys, hoping that they can be as mature as guys like Anthony Rizzo, as guys like Chris Bryant.
Right.
They got to take a page out of those guys' book, man.
They do, man. There's no excuse. Age is nothing but a number. Y'all heard Aaliyah plenty years ago, man. But
Gene, Eloy Jimenez, man.
Eloy, man.
Okay.
That was a steal for you guys,
Look,
man.
You're going to be seeing the name in your nightmares, bro.
Well, if I had to see him in my nightmares for a championship ring, hey, that's cool. I have nightmares for the next couple years. But
true, because we had to say bye to a Southside faithful. We had to say bye to Quintana to get Eloy over on board. But, I love the way he's talking, man. He's talking like he's trying to force the hand of Rick Hahn so we can get on this opening day roster. So I'm definitely hoping that guys like that go on and mash through the spring, end up on the Major League roster day one. Let's go ahead and just bring everybody up now.
Man, I can smell the grass. I can smell the rawhide. I can smell the leather gloves, man. Spring training is right around the corner, man.
Right around the corner, man. We'll be hopping on a plane soon, hitting Arizona.
Glendale.
Check out these Cubs and White Sox.
Enjoying that 85-degree weather while y'all back at the crib under the 25-degree snow, black ice.
And we got some business to take care of in spring training this year, man. We got to holler at our man, El Mago. We got to holler at our man, Javier Baez, to talk about the nickname, because that's one of our claims to fame, man, El Mago.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, man, Javier Baez coined the term El Mago. He uses it on his Instagram, Twitter, all of that. Anytime he posts the magician hat with the El Mago. The big start at that, and we'll leave it at that. But we'll talk about that at another time. But we definitely got some business to handle down at AZ, man. Looking forward to getting down there, getting back into the swing of things, and, man, trying to see if we can have that Subway matchup, that World Series.
That's what I got my fingers crossed for, man. I'm hoping that the White Sox can get it together, and I'm hoping that the Cubs can keep it together so that we can get that crosstown World Series and get both these Chicago teams in the series, man.
Yeah, get the people what they deserve, man, for real.
Yeah, man, and I'm hoping that the South Side takes it, man. I know I've been riding next to you with the North Siders and everything, and it's been the time of my life, but in my heart, man, I'm waiting for the South Side to get it together.
No
man.
doubt, and I grew up down the street, man, so I got South Side embedded in me, man.
Gene, how did that even happen, man? You South Side through and through. How did you end up a fan of the North Side, bro?
My Uncle Jesse, man, every time I come home, growing up as a kid, come home through the back door, my great-grandmother got the peanut butter and jelly waiting on me when I come in. My Uncle Jesse got a Fifth and Night train.
Classic.
And, man, he got WGN.
WGN with the plastic couches.
Man, but he has the TV on mute. He hated Harry Carey.
Okay.
So he was listening to the radio.
He wasn't into the hey, hey, hey.
Oh, no, none of that. All we was talking about was Andre Dawson, Sean Dunston, Leon Durham, Lee Smith.
The legends.
The Sarge, Gary Matthews, a.k.a. the black players, man.
A.k.a.
So that's how I became a Cubs fan, man. If Uncle Jesse knew what his boy was doing right now, even though he's looking down on his boy, but I'll do all this for my Uncle Jesse, man. All this goes back to Uncle Jesse, man. So
definitely shout out to Uncle Jesse. We popped a few beers in his honor on the day of the parade.
Man, we popped a few bottles of champagne after the World Series, man. If y'all didn't, we gonna rehash this Facebook Live video for y'all that didn't see it, man. We got it. We probably got it more cracking than the Cubs did.
Definitely got it more cracking, and those bottles are definitely still sitting on my windowsill at the crib.
Mine too.
Those are like our championship rings early on in this process, you know.
And I got a ring too.
A ring? What kind of ring are you talking about?
I would have busted it out for you guys, but if you truly know me. If you truly know me, man, you can come on to the crib. I'll bust it out for you. I'll let you try it on. I might even let you take a picture with it, man, but you got to return it, man, because I'm watching you, bro.
No, definitely stunting on them when you bring the championship ring out. But like we said, man, hopefully the White Sox can get on board. Hopefully they can get back in the playoffs. Lord knows how long it's been. I've been waiting since 2005 to feel that that glory again, and I definitely think it's close with these young guys. So, Rick Hahn, Michael Kopich, Yohan Moncada, we need you guys to step it up and come through for us, man. We need the South Side back on the rise.
South Side on the rise, man.
Definitely, and get used to it. South Side on the rise. I need to hear that a little more from my man Gino, guys.
But was the Sox Fest cracking? Because Cubs Con was cracking, man. It was all types of action going on in that.
You know what?
Sheridan.
If you enjoy little kids enjoying themselves, if the kids got to run the bases, then that's cracking. But as far as Cubs convention, they turned that into the whole Wrigley Field experience. So I always tip my cap to the way the Cubs can hold it down. So it's nothing like that. All right, man, we're going to take it to a break. We'll be back right after these messages. You are rocking with the Bigs on WVON, the Talk of Chicago.
Boom.
Like we always do about this time.
You're rocking with the Bigs. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. You are rocking with the Bigs. It's your man Gene. I'm with my player partner T-Tom to my left. And man, we are live on WVON, the Talk of Chicago. But man, on the line now, we got the big certified South Carolina's own, but now Chicago's own world champion pitcher, Carl Edwards Jr. People always ask me, you know, they see you all the time with us. They like, man, CJ like y'all best friend. We like, yeah, man, that's our homie. And they always ask, man, where's CJ from? And we say South Carolina. This sounds like a foreign place to most people, man. Talk about growing up in South Carolina and coming up playing baseball and how you really got on. Like, I know the story, but tell the people the story, man.
Yeah, man. You know, South Carolina's a small state. You know, I love it out here. I like small areas, but, hey, you know, I grew up playing, you know, Little League, but my family had a thing. We used to play this league called Community League All-Stars. They call it the Bush League. And that's, you know, right there is where I really learned the game of baseball. 15 years old, playing with, you know, grown folks and, you know, them teaching me the ropes and everything in baseball and about life. And I feel like that, you know, playing out there is what got me where I am at today.
You're rocking with the Bigs on WVON, the Talk of Chicago. We got our man C.J. Edwards from the Cubs on the line talking baseball. C.J., man, when you look at what you've been able to accomplish so far in your young career, man, you know, and especially when you look at you physically, we look at your frame, and you as skinny as you are, but you're throwing 96 to 98 miles per hour out, you know, up at the mound. Can you talk a little bit about how you were able to, you know, stay on your game so far early on in your young career, man?
Yeah, it's just me personally. I feel like it's a gift, you know, a gift from the man above, and it's just about the heart of the game. You know, it's how much heart, how competitive you are as a player, you know, as a person, and I think that's where, you know, I get majority of my velo from. And that's just, you know, being a skinny guy with a, you know, a pretty big heart. Hey, I mean, and being the competitor I am, I think that's what, you know, gets me to where I am today, and, you know, led me through my first full season last year to, you know, have a pretty decent one.
No doubt, man. Now, I told you during that 2016 season when we first met that if you won the World Series as a rookie, you would be an all-time Chicago legend as long as you were here. And you remember the time we rode to Mariano's or Jules, and you're like, nah, we can't go to this one, man. I ain't going to be able to shop. You remember that?
Yeah.
So, man, talk about your World Series experience, winning it as a rookie, and actually pitching in the last inning, actually getting 2 outs in the last inning.
Man, just knowing the history of Chicago, man, I think that should put everything on the table for a lot of people. Right. And been so close, and couldn't get, you know. And then, you know, the year we won it, man, it was just, you know, we all just a great group of guys, man. We played the game the same. We had each other back. I mean, I feel like that's every team, but I know there's just something about that team that year that really, really was special. It was something special about us. And I think all of us, we had one thing on our mind,
Right.
and we were not trying to go out there and, not win it all, and that's what happens. You see that in the bottom of the 10th. Man, we end up giving, they end up tying the game up, and, all our heart and determination and competitive, all that came out at the top of the 10th, and we were able to secure the win in the bottom of the 10th, get 3 outs, and, gave a lot of people in this world something they all been waiting for, and I feel like me personally, I was happy as a player to do that for these fans.
Well, man, I thank you myself, brother. I'm a long time. We talk about this all the time, man. You definitely made one of my personal dreams come true, and actually to be there and to kick it with y'all and pour up bottles and do all of that, seems like yesterday, man. So I got to thank you again, man. I appreciate it, man, and we doing it again this year, bro.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be another fun year for us.
Definitely, CJ, man. Now Eugene just touched on it, man. We're definitely along for every single twist and turn in 2016. As members of the media, that's huge for other media guys looking at us and wondering how we were able to get as close to you as we've been able to get. Man, but what I want you to touch on is, do you think there's a disconnect between black players in Major League Baseball and the media when it comes to them being able to relate and getting as close to players like you as we've been able to get?
No, I mean, you just have different personalities, man. I feel like that's what it comes down to. Is some guys, just I don't know how to really put it, but I just know for myself, it's like I'm easy to get along with. So I make myself available to talk at any time. Some guys different. It just depends, and I think that's what really separates a lot of athletes. I mean, you got guys that never talk to the media. You got guys that talk to the media. You got guys that, they talk to the media only when they have to be talking, only when the media come to them. And I feel like I just walk around. I walk in, I tell everybody, hey, and ask them how they doing. And I just try to make it easy for both of us.
No doubt, brother. That's real. One more thing on that subject, man. I talked to when you guys played Miami last year after that. What was the pitcher's name? What's our pitcher's name that died in that boat accident?
Hernandez.
Oh, yeah,
Hernandez. Right. So I talked to D. Gordon when they came to Chicago, and I asked him because at opening day there were 62 black players on all major league rosters, which is like 2 per team, and we all know that some teams don't have any. So D said that it was important for him to, anytime he comes in contact with another black player, it's mandatory that he either introduces himself or goes to hang out or does something, interacts with another black player just to let him know that, you guys aren't alone. Do you feel the same? Like when you go to those different ballparks and you meet some a new player, you were telling me like Andrew McCutchen is one of your guys, Marte, and guys like that, you make sure you go and talk to them. But do you make sure that you talk to all of the black players and try to establish a relationship with them?
Yeah, always. It's just, for me personally, is you don't see it as often. So I feel like it's nice that, I go around and, I speak to guys. But, once you get on that field, it's really not you really don't see anything. You don't really see race or anything out there. You just see, a bunch of guys doing what they love. Yeah. But me personally, yeah, I try to make myself go around and, introduce myself to, the older guys, the veterans and stuff. But, sometimes it's hard.
Okay. CJ, man, how do we address those numbers, man? Those the number of black players in the league that Gene just talked about is a number that used to be higher, man. So what do you think we have to do at a youth level to re-engage these young kids into the game of baseball? Because it should be more than, just one CJ Edwards in the league, man. I'm sure it's a bunch of kids out there that have dreams of playing in the MLB. So, have you thought about some solutions to that problem? I
mean, personally, I feel like, for for African Americans, us personally, like, it's not hard for us to go buy basketball shorts and a T-shirt. And you cut it to a uniform, and you can go out and play, or playing football all through high school, hoping to get that scholarship. But baseball, I feel like it's different. I mean, you have summer leagues, and you have so many more opportunities in baseball than other sports that I feel. I mean, basketball is pretty close. Baseball and basketball to me is pretty close. But football is kind of, it's kind of tough. But I feel like, we just have to reach out more. I mean, we can't really say what we will do. It's just gonna take that one person to come out and, do it. And whereas it might take like a group of 4, to meet up one day in a place, and we go to this other town or this other state, to introduce baseball to, other African American kids.
Man, brother, spoken like a genius, man. You thinking while you're not playing, man. I like brothers like you, man. It ain't all about baseball. It ain't all about the sport, man. You're looking to give back in more ways than one. But on another note, we know the talk of the off season is pitching. For you guys, signed a couple guys in the off season, but specifically for you, we know about the Yu Darvish thing that happened in the playoffs last year. We're not going to revisit that. If you're a Cubs fan, you know what happened, but that's neither here nor there. So coming back this season, we know you guys are favorites to get back to at least the NLCS. Where do you see yourself in this year's rotation? I personally thought that you could be fighting for that closer position, but we know there's more. I know there's more to it than just fighting for the position. So I think we brought Brandon Morrow in, signed him for $21 million. So it's looking like that's his position to lose. But where do you see yourself coming back in the rotation this season?
Well, me personally, I just feel like, I feel like I'm gonna come back and be the same I was, my last 2 years in. I have opportunities to, go out there and clean innings, but I feel like I'm still gonna be that guy, if we need to, get out of trouble or something, or I feel like I'll still be in my same role as last year. But I just feel like no matter what situation come up with I feel like our bullpen strength this year, we'll have guys capable to have a couple save opportunities. I mean, I just look at it more as we might have a guy that's been throwing the ball really, really good, and he might close for a month or two, or have somebody else. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be in the air, but the thing is that no matter who, what number, and what name we call to go out there, we know they'll get the job done.
Now, CJ, that's definitely something we talked about with Almore Jr. at Cubs Fest, man. You look at this Cubs roster, and it's stacked with young players that are ready to play right now, man. And, what we asked Almore Jr. was, does it get to a certain point where you want to go up to Joe Madden and say, hey, give me the ball. I'm ready to be the closer. I'm ready to take on a new role full time. So I want to ask you the same thing, CJ. Is it a time where the competitor in you just is tired of taking a back seat and you're ready to take on the new role full force?
I mean, the new role thing, I think it'll come. I always tell myself, just be patient. Everything happens for a reason. There's no need to try to force nothing. Just let's sit back, and we're all gonna sit back and let's see how this thing pans out. And that's what I think about. That's how I think. So I think the good old man, Joe Madden, that's him. He's gonna sit back. He's gonna be patient with everybody. He's just gonna, ride it out. And we all know if we got a hot hand, we're gonna ride him until the wheels fall off. And I really like that about Joe and the whole organization. So that's just how I look at the whole situation.
Well, CJ, looking forward to getting up with you guys in Arizona in less than a month. When are you? So spring training, the guys report February 12th.
Yes.
Are you going to report early? We talked and you said you might go a little bit early.
Yeah, I'll probably get out there I might get out there like a day early or a day, 2 days early. But as of now, I'm just stuck on February 12th. Trying to spend a little more time with family, friends before I get out and have this long season ahead.
Hey, CJ, man, one thing I need from you this offseason is some new dance moves in that bullpen. We know you won Best Dancer in the Cubs bullpen, but I need a little bit more creativity from you out there, man. You got me?
Yeah, man, I got you.
You gonna have what's up with the theme song? You got a new theme song yet, or you waiting for Migos to drop the Culture album? Well, they dropped it already. You got one off that?
They dropped it. Yeah, they already dropped it. But I don't have one yet. I have one soon though.
All right, well, man, CJ, we appreciate you calling in, man, rocking with the bigs, man. You know you are the big certified, man. Anytime we can chop it up with you, it's always a pleasure, man. So from my player partner, T-Tom, we appreciate you, brother.
Love, CJ.
All right, man. Yep, man. Send y'all boys, man. Have a good night, man.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
With CJ, man, Carl Edwards Jr., 2016 world champion. Chicago Cub on the line, chopping it up with the bigs. Dropped a little science there, man.
One of the realest in the game, man. They don't get as real as CJ these days, man. Like the saying goes, they don't make them like CJ anymore. But, man, we're going to go ahead into another break. We'll be back on the other side of it. You're rocking with the bigs on WVON, the Talk of Chicago.
I know everybody asked me the question. They want to know, what kind? I know he's going to wild out and he's going to do something crazy. Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
You're rocking with the bigs on WVON, the Talk of Chicago. Man, it's Grammy night, man. I had to play that Kanye West soundbite, man. It's one of my favorite Grammy moments. It's what we've come to know, or who we come to know as the old Kanye, man, winning his first Grammy, letting the world know how passionate he was, man. I missed that Kanye. I missed that Grammy night, bro.
Did you like that Grammy Kanye over the Sway Kanye? You don't have the answer, Sway.
You know what? That low-key broke my heart, man. I hated seeing Kanye and Sway at each other's necks like that, bro.
You saw Sway check him, though, right?
You had to.
Okay.
It was warranted. It was necessary, you know?
Yeah, man. Grown man will put you in your place, man. Yeah, he checked himself, too. He's like, okay, Sway, you're right, man.
Definitely had to check himself in that moment, but it's always good to go back and look at the beginning, and see where Kanye came from, man. We got to tip our caps to Kung Fu Kenny tonight, taking home that rap album of the year over Hove.
Man, Kung Fu Kenny swept the theater with the Camel tonight, man.
Swept, it's the king of rap, man. We've been hearing it for years now, man. King of the West, king of rap. Go ahead and get a man his crown. But Gino, man, how many tracks on that album, how many tracks on that Kung Fu Kenny album did you actually listen to? Let me know.
Not a one. Hey, man, I don't have anything against Kung Fu Kenny. I actually think Kendrick Lamar is a dope artist. I just he doesn't do it for me.
Now, I can get that. Music is about preference.
Right.
I was sitting here trying to debate on if I loved Damn or if I loved Hove's 444 a little bit more, man. But I'd have to say, man, I may have went with the Hove album only because I'm biased. I had to admit that I sat at the UC a month ago.
I was with you
for the 444 tour, and I was reminded how I came up in the music, as far as the music that I listen to, and I'm hoved out, man. I was in there on the cloud, man. I'm still on the cloud, low key.
I'm saying they couldn't let Hove get one award, man. I mean, Bruno, it might as well have been called the Bruno Awards, but for the rap side, they couldn't let Hove get one award. You see my boy Nas in the back. Nas was shaking his head like, Foolie, I ain't got one yet either. So.
Hove, they gonna India RE you? They gonna do that to you?
Yeah, man.
But the thing is, man, hey, what was Hove's best, what was the biggest track on 444? It was The Story of OJ.
I don't know. I've barely listened to 444, man. I've been listening to Young Roddy and Griselda.
Hey,
Young Roddy and Griselda for the last almost year. So I'm Kung Fu Kenny and Hove. You could have tossed them up in the air and just let me pick one.
There you go, Gene. I may have to let it be known that if Currency and Young Roddy aren't at the Grammys, that I may not watch, which means I may not be watching ever again, brother.
Who watches the Grammys anyway, man? Wasn't there some hoop on or something?
It was a little bit of hoop on. We had some Westbrook tonight. But, like we said, shout out to Kenny. I'm happy he brought home that album, man. It came out at the beginning of the year, and it lasted all the way through, so you got to tip your cap to that, man.
How many did Kenny win tonight? Anybody? Kenny won 5?
A handful of Grammys.
Wow, man.
Yeah, one of those nights tonight.
Hey, Kendrick, man, my bad, brother. Maybe I need to do some self-searching and tap into the damn album a little bit. I'm going to do it anyway. I just like to find rap. It comes out so much now. I just like to find rap on my own time. So eventually I'm pretty sure I hear the Kendrick album. But dang, a 5-piece spicy?
5-piece spicy for Kendrick tonight.
Man.
I'm proud of the man. I was telling you before we came over here, when I was in college back in 2012, the Section 80 mixtape got me through, man. And so I'm definitely happy to see him continue to grow. Happy to see him take home some hardware to complement the hard work that he put in, you know?
Wasn't Rhapsody in that category, one of those categories?
Rhapsody definitely made an appearance in the best rap album.
They just threw her in there?
Threw in there for good measure. So they can't say we didn't have a woman in the category.
Did Macklemore come?
I hope not. Was Logic? Was Logic?
I don't ever want to hear Logic ever, man. Positive message, great. Music, huff. Sorry.
Shout out to Kendrick, like I said, man. Shout out to Damn Rap Album of the Year. Shout out to Bruno Mars, who kind of came in with the new age Michael Jackson glittery fit on.
Yeah, you saw when he had that fit, you knew he was destined to win some awards tonight, man. Bruno sent it up, though, man. Hey, I'm not hating on him, man.
That's what I like, right? How long did that album last?
Well, you told me he won a Grammy off the album last year.
It feels like it's been around since the last Grammys.
Yeah, he had Bruno had a touch of New Edition with a touch of Michael. Something that didn't resonate with me. But hey, that's why I don't watch the Grammys, man. I watch hip hop awards that cater to the culture, man. They don't even show half the awards that we get nominated for. So why would I even spend my time watching that?
Hey, I think we can leave it right there on that note on the Grammy talk, man. Getting ready to wrap it up from the Xfinity Studios, Gino. The people have been rocking with the bigs for a minute. We're happy to bring our people. We're happy to bring the people on this journey with us. It's been a wild ride, bro.
Man, so far so good if you ask me, man. But before we get out of here, man, you already know. Got to say what's up to my Good Times brothers, my Paper Transfer brothers, my GTD brothers.
Y'all know who y'all are.
My Stay Humble Entertainment brothers, my Sir and Madam family, my Leaders family, my Fashion Geek family, everybody that's around this city doing independent things, not taking no for an answer and putting on for the culture, man. You know how we do over here with the bigs. We push the culture forward. We stay away from the haters. But more importantly, man, we always, always, always keep it player, man.
Always 365, 24/7.
Number players over here, man.
Gene, before we get up out of here, man, who you running with the Super Bowl next week?
Man, Tom Brady or nothing. True enough, he ain't reaching Mike MJ GOAT status, but Tom Brady or nothing, man.
You know what? I sat in front of that TV and watched Tom Brady break my heart next year. I'm not making that mistake again this year. I'm definitely taking the Patriots. But thank y'all for tuning in. You're rocking with the bigs on WVON, the Talk of Chicago. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
It's the big.
You're rocking with the bigs. You already know.
Chicago sports.
Baez out of the deep left center. Gone.
Scooped up down the sideline. Eddie Jackson. Jackson, it's a foot race, and he's going to win it. Touchdown, Bears.
And culture.
I told him I was going to get 35 or more and we was going to win. And we did that for the culture.
Only right here. WVON 1690 AM.